Hola. All right. We have arrived, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the Patreons have already had the pleasure of witnessing this video, but a little bit different. So the Patreon version is a little bit more abrasive, and it's been out for about 2 months already. So if you've already seen this on the Patreon, then you already understand. This is the more milder, complete version without all the theatrics that you've seen before and the more vast details that you get on the Patreon. Now, what this is going to be is a telling of a proper perspective that everyone can enjoy. I think I said that right. So in that fell, that part right there said, now we can move forward. Let's start the intro. Hi, I'm Carcino. Oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
No one knows Carcino and none of these.
There's so much going on in the world, and I'm just giving my 2 cents on it. Go in and do a raid at someone's house, but you don't have an arrest warrant for them. Welcome back. Now, here's what people don't seem to understand. You have these different scenarios about how contracts are structured. Now, when she was with Def Jam, Rihanna signed a deal after being discovered really by Jay Brown's and brought to Roc Nation's attention with Jay-Z and everybody else. They made sure they got a deal with Rihanna signed, as Rihanna is really the only Jay-Z field artist. And what I mean by Jay-Z field, meaning that Jay-Z is the main driving force behind this artist. His team really is bringing Rihanna up. Now, a lot of you would accredit Jeezy and Rick Ross to Jay-Z's accomplishments of being a president of Def Jam. You would be wrong and mistaken. That was Shakir's job. Shakir Stewart, who came over with L.A. Reid from LaFace. When LaFace split up and went their own ways, he became the vice president of Def Jam, really doing all of the business while Jay-Z was just the face. Now, that was to take the pressure off of L.A. Reid so he can conduct business under the scope while Jay-Z walked around boastfully bragging that he was the man and he did this and that, when literally he did next to nothing. So, as we look at this, Rihanna was really his first project that he brought to life. Jay took the credit for Rick Ross and Jeezy, of course. Great Saturday mornings, fellas. What'd it do? Happy birthday, whoever you are. Hit the like button and subscribe to the page so that we can get this thing moving along the way it's supposed to. Yes, he did. He put Scarface in place for Def Jam South. That was their idea. Mm-hmm. I don't even know what Egg Shack is. Thank you. Now, Rihanna's thing that she's having right now with Roc Nation is the fact that Rihanna was with Def Jam all of her career until she decided to leave in 2014. Roc Nation had this thing that they were developing called Tidal. And now she's signing her management deal. She was going over there, and Def Jam and Roc Nation had started and had a close relationship. And she wanted to leave Def Jam and go over to Roc Nation, as Def Jam was basically a dying record label, and it was just there for name recognition. It had basically died many moons ago. But now that was a place they used to run up a tab and you run out. So Live Nation made a partnership with Jay-Z and saying this was going to be their way, as they control basically the concert market, to work out with Jay-Z and have Roc Nation. And Jay-Z is going to be eating off of all of these artists. So along with that, him bringing in people, he's going to get some proceeds and everything else. But Jay-Z had to sign a 360 deal and basically pay back $20 million to get away from Def Jam. He had to pay $20 million back. That's how much money he had squandered. And they had license to his name. They owned the name Jay-Z with the hyphen. So he had to take time to get that back. That's why the Blueprint 3, he didn't have that. The name Jay-Z was spelt different. I know because I was threatened to be sued by Jay-Z, and they let me know I can't use the hyphen anymore. I knew I could use the hyphen, but he went back to the hyphen. He got it back. So he went back to the Jay-Z with the hyphen in between. Once you do that, now you're copywriting Jay-Z's name, his imprint. So once you put that hyphen in there, it's going to be a problem. Now, Rihanna left in 2014. Yes. Rihanna left in 2014 because she already knew there was a situation at hand that just didn't make any sense. And seeing where the direction was going, and Jay-Z had never led her astray, this was perfect for her. This was perfect. This was on point with everything she wanted to do. She felt this is for her the rest of her career. This is it. All the people she worked with is over here. And this, it made sense. Jay-Z is getting ready to have this thing called Tidal, where the streaming service is coming into play. So naturally, he's thinking about, oh, we got to get this, we have to get this thing done. We need all of this to work. Yeah. So when you start seeing things develop and how it was going with launching, this was all about launching the brand. He got Nicki Minaj roped in, T.I. He had who else? Kanye West, Rihanna, and he had all these stars aligned to go. Prince was going to bring some of his work over there, and they wanted to control the streaming market. And said, hey, we're going to have this for us. We're going to have a streaming platform where we control our distribution of the music and this and that. And then they showed a picture of the people worked there, and it was like the only black people there was Jay-Z and Beyonce, and it was crazy. People was like, this is supposed to be for us. Right? People started putting the puzzle together right then and there. They said, whoa, something ain't right here. The only two black people I see in this whole photo is Jay-Z and Beyonce in this whole Tidal thing movement. Well, things were working in a different way. Now, Rihanna comes there. She starts working on her album. Tidal is already going up in like arms because now Jay-Z's having this streaming war with Spotify and Pandora and everybody else. So this is getting ready to create a massive event that's going to cause a lot of friction with other people's money. And the fact that exactly. So when you start seeing a lot of people's money going left or go to another area where it's just not making sense, you got to start evaluating the situation at hand and saying, I don't like the way this direction is taking us. And a lot of people felt that way. They didn't like the direction that this was going to take because it was blocking your music. Jay-Z was locking people for a couple of weeks exclusively only on Tidal, which was supposed to be only for a certain period of time. Then it was released to the world. But Jay-Z was like, no, this is an exclusive, and we're going to hold this down. Now, Beyonce's album, he couldn't do that with. They weren't playing that game. So he couldn't hold Beyonce album exclusively on Tidal. They weren't having it. So Columbia Records was like, this ain't happening. You're not finna hold us hostage. Now, Parkwood is Beyonce's little label thing. So, yeah, that's her label, Parkwood Entertainment. So that's how they got there. Now, Rihanna, before she signed with Roc Nation and left Def Jam, she did something that nobody had done before. Nobody in Roc Nation history had done this before. Rihanna was the only person who ensured she had all of her masters to all of her songs before she went to Roc Nation. She owns all her masters. She acquired the rights to all of her music previously recorded that she had done before she went to Roc Nation. Never been done before. Jay-Z didn't even do that. He was in a 360 deal. So the whole misunderstanding here, what's up, Eric? Thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it. The whole misunderstanding is that Rihanna signed a 360 deal and she came in like everybody else. No, she did not. She was very smart in how she handled her business. They can say she slept with everybody, but she slept with a purpose. She acquired all of her masters, then went over to Roc Nation. Now she has a contract, a partnership in her deal. She never signed to a 360 deal with Roc Nation. Now, that's different from her and every other artist, right? Hell, Beyonce don't even own songs she did on Destiny Child. That's why she don't want to do stuff with Destiny Child. She's still contracted to do one more Destiny Child album. All of them are. He said, damn, you Roc Nation. Tory Lane dance voice. It's Roc Nation and Jay-Z. They are responsible for this. This is a travesty. Let's go. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's Tory Lane's dad, man. He was quite entertaining. No, because the way it was moving and the way people were responding and acting, I just don't understand or get like what was the goal or the purpose or basically the state of mind of the individual. But Rihanna was doing what she was supposed to do. So she comes in and she's making this music. Now, we already know some people who were making songs and writing the songs for Beyonce and all of this. A lot of people were giving some of Rihanna ideas over to Beyonce, like we sharing the wealth. It's all one pot. Rihanna don't think that way. And if she has an idea and she's trusting you, don't you dare give her ideas to somebody else. Now, all of a sudden, Rihanna album is coming out and they want to kind of give it space. Rihanna wants her album out at a certain time because she feels it's important that her album comes out at a certain time when it was supposed to be released. So what they did was throw Rihanna album out in January with limited promotion, limited marketing, and they wanted to let Beyonce get off. So they said, well, let her go there and let her do this album. Then we'll get to the other ones. This album was so outstanding that this is the first album she put out in like 4 years because she was so upset at what was going on with Def Jam and how they screwed up her last album. So here she is with this creative album, sounds, everything. It has some dance hall, it has some pop, it has some soul. It was all different, everything. Anti is so creative that you can go back and listen to it right now. Massive hits. So after this, Jay-Z helped her, acquire a $25 million deal with Samsung because he had the same type of deal with Samsung, which was going to released the album and the cover art and everything else. So that was supposed to go off without a hitch, right? So her second number one, whatever, and she was dominating the charts. It was doing well. But she's seeing now her album run is getting ready to get into the way of what Beyonce is doing. This album went along like it was crazy. Like the album sales and this talk of this album, even though it was leaked because of this Samsung leak or whatever, they leaked the whole album out, so it got bootlegged. So they had to rush the album out ahead of its promo run. So, Beyonce, I mean, not Beyonce, but Rihanna was pissed over that, as any artist would be. That's your work. You put all this heart and soul into your project, and then to have somebody just dump on it like that, that makes it ridiculous. She didn't want to give that album to Def Jam. So that made sense for her not to even move in that trope. Because once you do that, there's no way out of it. Yeah. Riri was going to be on fire no matter what. See, Jay knew now that there's a major problem because Kanye West is now going through the same thing as he's ranting at Jay-Z over how his Pablo album got messed up. And Rihanna now, and seeing what happened with Rihanna, this just made Kanye West, who backed Jay in this whole situation, he went over to what Riri was talking about. This was the anti-album. Her album would have sold even more. This was the biggest album she had probably ever did. This is my favorite album she's ever done. And we have not had another Rihanna album since. And the reason why is due to this. People have voted this album like the best album of the 2010s, this decade, this new generation. That album was up there. They have raved over this album. Now, Beyonce was riding the wave of her and Jay-Z having this spat. And Rihanna was like pissed. This was, it was ruining her run. Jay-Z, the elevator situation with all of that going on, and Beyonce's finna put out this album. Now Beyonce got braids in her hair. Her hair is braided. She's trying to look like Riri. And it was so obvious. Beyonce hadn't wore braids in years. Now she's trying to look like Rihanna and making songs like Rihanna again, like Drunken Love. And I was like, whoa. Drunken Love was supposed to be Rihanna's song. Y'all don't really know that. That song was supposed to go to her. It wasn't supposed to go to Beyonce. She let that slide. So I'm just saying, she's trying to sound like Rihanna. I'm like, she's trying to riff like Rihanna, and she's not that kind of singer. She's not that kind of singer. They did Amiri like that. They did, took her whole sound. Rihanna can't even sing. Here's the thing that y'all don't understand. Rihanna is an artist. She's not a vocalist like you think. She's not Whitney Houston. All right. She's not Mariah Carey. Because those are vocalists. There's a difference. Okay. You're not going to compare Paula Abdul to Whitney Houston, which they were doing, and Whitney was losing her mind. Because she's in her mind, that don't exist. She came from a different area of what R&B was. It was transitioning at that time. When Paula Abdul came along with the straight up now tell me and all of this, and that's like, okay, she can dance. She's a choreographer. She can dance, but this is not what people think it is. This is clearly not what people think it is. Right. Those are more pop artists. Like they're good in the studio and they make the song sound great, but they're not known for their vocal prowess, like hitting a different octaves. That's Whitney's job. And that's normally used to be the standard. Like you had to be able to sing. Like Alicia Keys can sing a little bit. She's not a great vocalist, but in the studio, she's amazing. But she's not, no, she's singing is not, she's more the piano and everything else. And she can make a song, but she's not really a strong vocalist. Jaguar Wright was a strong vocalist. Her voice would pierce. She had a powerful voice. Most heavy-set women, Black women especially, had that sound. Like the girl from CNC Music Factory, they said, well, you don't have the look, but we got to put you in the background. They had this little skinny Black girl out there pretending like she was singing the song, and it wasn't her at all. But she had that, I got the power. I'm like, yeah, I got the power. I'm like, yeah, I got the power. I was, woo. So that's what people remember. Now, getting back to this case, Rihanna knows how to put an island sound to it or put her own riff, her ad-libs, all of these things that make it her song, that make it Rihanna. That's what's going to make it pop. Jay-Z know that. I knew that. That's why Jay gave Rihanna anything she wanted. It wasn't about no affair. I mean, hell, Jay already know he didn't slept with everything. Rihanna didn't slept with everybody. She was young. She was just doing what she do. But she was smart. She wasn't stupid. She ain't just sleep with just anybody. CeCe is a wonderful vocalist. All these people are vocalists back in the day. Jennifer Holliday, Jennifer Hudson, those are like vocalists. Those are so far few and in between anymore because it's not taught. Music isn't taught in schools like it used to be. So guys can't hit those octaves anymore. They can't hit those notes. Now, where did Riri and them go wrong? After this, there was a lot of turmoil. Jay kept trying to make everything right. So when she sat down, because it was time to restructure the deal, Roc Nation is like, look, her contract isn't favorable to us. We want to work with the people we ripping off. You know, let's stay focused on the people we ripping off. Because this woman wants, like, we're not really making no money with her. We're not finna pay her this and that much money. Everything is like a partnership with her. So I'd rather work with the people we screwing over. So everything was moved out of the way to prepare for Lemonade, the Beyonce rollout, which didn't have to, it wasn't exclusively on Tidal, because Columbia Records wasn't playing ball like that. They wasn't messing around with her album like they did Rihanna's. So she was pissed about that. She was pissed about the whole layout, how they supposed to have this. You get the Samsung phone, you get the songs, and then everybody ended up having her album for free, and it was bootlegged all over the internet. So that was gonna hurt the sales of the album. But Beyonce didn't have this kind of problem. So Rihanna definitely was upset by the way that was handled. Of course, because I mean, she could sing. I mean, Fantasia is a vocalist. She can sing. And I tell you, they're far few and in between. Most of them come from the church, where they do what? Work on their vocals. They're not there working on hit records. They're there to be vocalists. Oh, without a doubt. Why would anyone want to see anything other than? Rihanna is somebody that if you saw Riri in person, you'll be like, oh, wow, she's amazing. So they had a deal in place to try to bring her back to the fold. See, that's what a lot of people didn't know. Like, they wanted to bring Rihanna back into the good graces, get her under a new contract so there wouldn't be any problems whatsoever. Like, let's get Riri back, sign her to a new deal, and that's that. That's why she's saying it. She want what she wanted in the negotiations, and if they don't want to pay it, Rihanna don't need your money. She'll sit down. She don't need to make another album. She's only doing it for the fans. Rihanna don't need to make another album. She smells nice all the time. Well, that's good for Rihanna. But that's what I'm saying, is that they had to run this play out with Beyonce like she was going to leave Jay-Z because of what happened with the elevator situation with Jay getting caught for all his infidelities and his weirdo behavior and some of the stuff he been doing and messing around there, and Becky with the good hair and all that. Becky with the good hair, who is that? And that's how they used to sell Beyonce's album. And she wasn't never leaving Jay-Z. Jay-Z used this as a marketing opportunity. She chose Jay-Z over her own sister. Her own sister just like, I'm done. I ain't doing this again for you. Rita Ora was never no Becky. She don't even got good hair. Everybody know that was Dame Dash ex-wife. Jay was messing with her just to be Jay-Z, and she was at the place and she was being really close with Jay, and all of a sudden, Solange was like, you ain't finna play in my sister's face. They already knew what was going on. But Solange don't realize you don't do that at the Met Gala. Rihanna is richer than Beyonce. Period. Beyonce never took control of her music. Jay-Z is basically in control of Beyonce. So he has a lot of control there. Columbia Records and all of these people who tried to separate those two plenty of times could never do it. Now, a lot of people said they didn't even like the Lemonade album like that. It's just the Beyonce fandom that kept everybody like glued to it. And then when she put out the Renaissance album after like 5-6 years, they was like, well, this one was kind of better. And I was like, I don't really like it. This is kind of not my album. This was kind of like the rainbow kind of album. But we gonna get into the Renaissance album because woo-wee, that led to another beef. Yeah, it's all going down today, buddy. Well, Rihanna has her own cosmetic line. So when you have your own cosmetic line and her clothing, her Fenty clothing line, Fendi wanted to have it stopped because they thought it was infringing. And they say, this is infringing on our brand name. But Fenty, because it's her name, her real name, her last name is Fenty. So she named it, and they said, well, we can't do that. She's naming it Fenty. It's not Fendi, just gonna have to deal with it. So they lost. Her own daddy tried to do some Fenty stuff and use his name, and she stopped her own daddy. Like, nope, sorry, Pops. Pops is, wait a minute, I want to use it. Nope, sorry, Pops. It's not happening. She put the kibosh on it ASAP. No Rocky. Oh, yeah. So the stage was set. They kept trying to get Rihanna to go back into the studio. She doesn't have to. She doesn't want to. So right now she's working out things in her head because she knows that she might do an album and she wants to do one for her fans. She just don't know what she wants to, she has the images in her brain, the visual ideas of the album. She just don't have the music yet to go with it. And that's how her process is. She likes to have these visions and then have the music come out. The last thing she did was on the Black Panther Forever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it's about how you maintain what you're trying to maintain and still being you in the process. Now you got situations like you have the key ambassador of the situation that is like some of the main people involved, like Roc Nation. They're coming with these low ball deals for Rihanna. And she's like, who do you think you talking to? like, are you kidding me? Are you crazy? Do you know who you're talking to? Like, I'm not a new artist. I would never sign a crazy ass deal like that. Now they was talking about, well, Rihanna is reportedly getting a $39 million deal with Roc Nation for 2 albums and plans for a 2024 tour with 2 albums. That's not confirmed. They were throwing that out there because that's what the offer was. And so they could be like, the fans can jump on Rihanna for not making it happen. But the contract never went through. There were no tour dates ever in place because and hadn't been confirmed by Rihanna. You know, she was absolutely not going on another tour. And she want to make videos and music right now. She's not thinking about a tour. Roc Nation want a tour because they know this is how they make their money. They're in the touring business. Live Nation is a touring company. They make their money by overcharging fans for tours. That's why they're being sued right now for overcharging people for these tickets. So, yeah. In 2023, she did the halftime of the Super Bowl. And when she did the halftime of the Super Bowl 2023, when the Eagles played the Chiefs, I think that was that ridiculous Super Bowl. That's when she unveiled her second pregnancy and everything else. So that didn't happen. So this was one of the offers that was made, but she never agreed to any of it. And the fact that it was leaked out to the public to try to put pressure on her to come to terms to make a deal with Roc Nation was something petty on their part. And that's only going to drive a wedge to force her back, you know. And she basically liked a tweet about all of her accomplishments, saying what kind of artist she is. And Roc Nation was saying, like, Rihanna's the only artist to do this, this, and this. And she was like, yeah, I know. Then, you know, nothing else needs to be explained. Like, there needs to be no negotiation. You know what I am. You know what I bring to the table. Stop playing. You're not finna lowball me. You're mad because you're not eating off me like you would Beyonce, Jay, or anybody else. You're not finna eat off me like that. So it's really a business thing. Jay, it's not really with Jay. Jay loved Rihanna. Like, he gave Rihanna everything. Still to this day, he will give Rihanna whatever Rihanna wants. It's that Beyonce person, boy. She is something else. She was mad that Jay-Z would stop everything that was going on with her if Rihanna called his phone. Jay-Z has 3 phones. Rihanna has every last one of those numbers, and she's not supposed to. That's what Beyonce was saying. Yet she's not supposed to have that number. If she was trying to get in contact with Jay, because one phone is just for the family. Like Beyonce, her moms, the kids, all of them, that's what that phone is for. Jay-Z gave that number to Rihanna too. And she was pissed. And he was in the doghouse and he was like, this is really important. So he's like, if I know it's really important, if she called all 3 phones and didn't get in touch with me, that this must be really important. So that's how he would do it. He was like, oh, this is Riri. I got to take this. And he would get up and go. This goes all the way back to the Chris Brown situation. Yeah, it's a lot of things y'all didn't know. Jay was not happy when Rihanna was 19 and she decided to be with somebody her age. He didn't like that at all. Then after what transpired, after that, he's been on Chris Brown forever. And he thought this was going to go on for a minute. So Jay been trying to win that back, get back there, get back to what he had. He needed that Barbadian, baby. That Barbadian boogie. That's what it was for him. He got to get back to that spot. That's when it was all going good. No, he wasn't leaving. There ain't nobody leaving no Beyonce. Jay ain't stupid. This is business. What would Jay look like leaving Beyonce? So he could be hated by all the black women? Beyonce is the only reason black women deal with him. That's why he came up with the 444 album, the I'm Sorry album. I'm sorry. So all Jay is saying in this moment is like the majority of his other moments is this is what's happening now. Everybody's mad. Everybody's upset. Why wouldn't anyone want all of this to be, the main thing? Bill Gates never apologized. For what? They're not going to apologize. Those people are the money makers. They're not going to apologize for making money and doing what is best for them to make money. Hell no. It's not in their vocabulary. Now, I'm hearing LL Cool J might have a diss song on Jay-Z for the new album. LL Cool J got a song called Acquiesce Mode. Now, anybody, when you say Bacquies, there's only one person you know. The favorite Bacquies person there is Jay-Z. So I'm waiting to hear that Bacquies song, because that's who he tried to look like, that gay painter who died from like AIDS. Now, there's so much going on. What you want me to do? I'm sorry. Just said I love you. Instead, I said, don't embarrass me. Oh, yeah. Well, that's what happens in this business. Now, you often and also have to check out a few things, you know? Oh, yeah, he got the Murdergram like remix. We already heard that song, the Murdergram with Eminem. And LL Cool J blew Eminem out of the water. Now, let's get back to the get back, because I want people to understand that portion of it. So Roc Nation was offering her these contracts to come back, do a tour, do one album, do this and this, but they want a multiple album. They definitely want a tour. She doesn't have to tour. Rihanna does not have to do this. She can sit down and live off her fortune. She is completely more successful than Beyonce. That's going to drive people insane. She is exclusively more successful. She don't need to make an album unless she wants to. That's it. She's worth 1.4 billion. 1.4 billion. She don't have to make another album if she doesn't want to. She's only considering doing it for the fans. Beyonce has to make albums. She just don't have to do it as frequently. But she has to keep making music. Her clothing line don't sell. Her clothing line just flopped. The Darion jeans flopped. It came out, made some noise for a second, then flopped. Then everything she just had, that Ivy, whatever, what was it called? Ivy Park, flopped. And they basically used Beyonce naked as a model to sell it. And it still didn't go anywhere. People who like Beyonce is not really a lot of the black girls. They really just she don't relate to them as much as she relate to like teenage white girls and all that stuff. They like Beyonce. You might get some of the older black people, but they ain't finna go buy your clothes. They not. But like those 50 and 60-year-olds, they love Beyonce. I remember Beyonce, that's my girl. But these young girls, they like people like Riri, Rihanna. She's more in tune with the fashion of what they like. Beyonce trying to cater to what everybody else's fashion trend is. And she's not even in the fashion circuit like that. So no, they don't gravitate to you. Now they'll listen to your music and see you perform. And she's a great entertainer, putting on a show and all that. But it's like, come on. You put out the concert at the thing copying Taylor Swift. It's like, come on now. Katy Perry and Taylor Swift did it. So Beyonce, like, I'ma do it too. Cause I'm Beyonce and I'm a whole lot of woman. I had to get that off. Yeah, meanwhile, Common just dropped like the greatest album in the last 10 years. I'm still listening to Common. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pete Rock produced the whole album. It is incredible. It made you forget what real hip hop was like. I was like, oh man, this is hip hop. Then I got Drake sending packages to my house. It's like, what the hell is going on here? It's been a crazy, crazy week, man. Crazy week. It's sitting right over here, and I'm like, what the hell am I gonna do with this? He sent me all this like dog treats. I don't have a dog. My dog's in Florida. It's goofy. Well, oh, well, that's not the case because Beyonce net worth is about 800 million. Jay-Z net worth is about 2.4 million. And they was like, how's his net worth more than Beyonce? Don't nobody care about Jay-Z because he's the boss. He the one getting paid off everything Beyonce's doing. Yeah, her net worth is reaching an estimated 800 million as Forbes predict she is on her way to becoming a billionaire. Rihanna's already there and been there. Mm-hmm. Yes, hit the like button too, people. I know y'all been listening to this and we've been talking for a while. Yes, there is some key things we left out that's on the Patreon. But definitely make sure you're paying attention and you're definitely hitting the like button so that they know that real people are here and not bots. We want real people here. So definitely hit the like button. It's gonna be my turn in the elevator. Oh no. If I'm in that elevator, it's gonna look like that Winter Soldier with Captain America. Anybody want to get out? Now's the time. If you want to get out, now's your time to get out. It's going down on Venice elevator. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's what I mean by Beyonce net worth is reaching that much and what it means. And how it really gravitates to the point of attack and how she's in control and command because she owns her own masters. Okay, Beyonce probably just bought all her masters and got everything. She's owning that now and she's but she gets most of that from performing in concerts and the movies and all her rights and all these deals. So she's boosting up there, but she's putting in all this work. Rihanna don't have to do that much. Okay, she ain't got to go on tour. She ain't doing that. Beyonce hurting her knee, got to have ACL, MCL things. She's spinning her hair in the air. She got to keep touring to make that money come in. That's what Drake doing now. But what I'm saying, oh yeah, I got to take my face off the picture. I like this new snap thing I could do. Watch this. Uh-oh, I didn't snap right. Woo! Snap. Snap. Oh, snap. Cino done stepped up. But anyway, I'm like a genie, buddy. The FBI should have. Everybody now saying there was another shooter at the Trump thing. I'm like, I told you that from day one. It's called the Kennedy assassination. That you have the patsy, you take the patsy out, and then everybody else go home for dinner. Now, I did a video showing y'all. I don't know if it was on Patreon or regular YouTube, but I did a video showing y'all exactly what went down and said where the person is. And now here they are. Yes, I saw the new Cobra Kai, unfortunately. I'll be talking about that recently. I'll probably be watching that later on today with my friends. But yeah, You know that. Come on now. We know what time it is. We've seen all of this stuff develop. So we get it. Roc Nation has to come with a deal that's favorable. Jay-Z is not in control of Roc Nation. He doesn't. He doesn't make any decisions, no deals. Let's just say Lee Moore, I understand why this is the final season. It's jumped its shark. The direction they're going now is like don't even make sense. Like you see everything coming and it's done, you know. It had its time and its run. They milked it out for as long as they could. Now it's, you know, they kept adding new people, new situations. So I like the last two episodes, but I'll do that on my Screen Fing channel. You know what time it is. That's why I hated final seasons, because they try to drag stuff out. Yeah, so it's a lot of stuff Jay did and got involved with personally with Rihanna that made Beyonce a little jealous of her and didn't want to be around her as much, and she wants to surpass her. But Beyonce didn't realize Rihanna was smart in the business world, and a lot of these things had nothing to do with Jay-Z. Rihanna dealt with people, and she started dating people and would learn stuff from the people she was dating. She was dating a guy from India, and she got with him and got all his connections and got with all these people that he was with. So she dated him for a while. He's a billionaire, and it got her in the position that she needed to be. Um, yeah, the Clara Lionel Foundation. She has the cosmetic brand Fenty. We just talked about that. She has the fashion house under the brand of the LVMH. You know, and she became the first Black woman to lead a luxury brand under that umbrella. Now, where Kanye effed up at, Rihanna did not. Yes, that Fenty Beauty and the Savage X Beauty, those companies are going to keep her wealthy for the rest of her life and beyond. It goes well beyond her music. She's an ambassador to the governor of the Barbados, where she's from. She was declared a national hero in the Barbados. Well, Rihanna had toured the country before she even had the hit song Umbrella. Like she was really already internationally going out, putting music out. It's just that most of the main world didn't hear her pop until uh, she blew up with Umbrella. That was it. But she was already out there doing tours and stuff. European countries. Then she just started to blow up. That's what the B Better Have My Money was about. That was all about Roc Nation. Pay me what you owe me. Don't act like you forgot. It better have my money. Pay me what you owe me. I called a shot. Like blah, blah, blah. Pay me what you owe me. Don't act like you forgot. It better have my money. No, that was Roc Nation. Roc Nation, you better pay me all the money y'all owe me. Don't act like you forgot. Y'all better have my money. Well, Eve's already a billionaire because she married to one. But no, Eve has become a woman of the night. You know, she got out of the rap business. And once she got out of the rap business, she was in the escort business. And it was like, whoa. Eve is worth like $10 million, but she's married to a billionaire. Yeah, I mean, she was a stripper, and everybody remembers that. She was a stripper who got on the mic. She was the first real stripper rapper that we've ever seen, but she was actually putting music together. Then, when everything started to go left musically, she was putting out music and it just wasn't hitting no more. Then all these tapes start coming out of her, getting down with a chick at a strip club. That was it. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, when you look at music, real music, you start to say, hey, where is the Rihanna album? I want a Rihanna album. Why don't we have that? That sounds like something we should have right now. I know I want to hear a Rihanna album. I go back and listen to Anti all the time. I don't know a woman that don't like it. Now, we also covered on the Patreon, in case y'all don't remember, Cappy and Beyonce. Oh, I told you Cappy was at that party. The one y'all keep talking about, Cappy was there. She remembered. So Cappy ain't all the way crazy. She was at the party. She was at that title party with Beyonce. So I'm gonna tell you that right now, they were on the red carpet. So we got the whole story on the Patreon. Look what else we found out. See, look at that. They were together. Oh. Now they gave her all that kind of medication. Uh-oh, here come the spies. If you want to know what happened to Kathy White, all you got to do is go on to the Patreon. We got the whole thing there. KD been having problems with Nike since the last time I was there. I saw it happen live. He didn't show up because he was having problems with Nike. And this was during one of Team USA. They were playing at that time. When was that? That was like 2015. It's around that time, like 2015, probably 2014. Might have been 2014. One of those. Trying to think, was it 2014? Might have been. Yeah, that could be the case. What else we got on the Patreon? Jay-Z and Rosario. Jay-Z has a contract and paid for her silence. A lot of y'all don't even know they dated. When she was super young. So you get to find out what happened there. So that's on the Patreon. Hell, don't think we just talk about black folks. Hell, we got Clint Eastwood on there. Mm-hmm. I don't know why I can't get that going. Oh, Kathy White? Yeah, I got that on there. Now I can't get it. Ain't that crazy? Oh yeah, everybody got upset when I just stumbled across some other stuff. It's so much stuff on the Patreon, it is crazy. I forgot we did this. This is LeBron and Savannah. They always show you that, right? When they went on prom, high school sweetheart and all that. Look at her, boy. She is a little wild, little freak. And they got mad at Bronny for taking the snow bunny out. They was, Bronny, you with a snow bunny. But his daddy went on prom with a white girl. His daddy was with a white girl too. They never show you this though. Y'all don't see that one. They don't show you the daddy going there with him. They show you the Savannah one. They don't show you and him going on prom with his white girl. So I'm just saying, that's what they don't show you that. They don't interview her. So this is why you got to go on the Patreon. You find out who that is. You find out what's going on. Right. And I'm like, why y'all coming out Bronny for that? Oh, the person that's going to run for president and for the Democrats? Y'all next candidate who going to run when he's done with football and everything else, he going to run for president? Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson will run for president. When he's done playing in the NFL, I told y'all before, y'all ain't paying attention. Russell Wilson will run for president. And Russell Westbrook will be his vice president. No. Russell Wilson will run for president of the United States of America. Why Dr. Umar went like that? Russell Wilson got rid of the snow bunny, went over and got with the honey. Not with Sierra as his wife. Do you remember who was President Trump's wife? Mail order Russian bride. She's not even a U.S. citizen. Yeah, I think Sierra can win and be first lady. All bets are off. Nobody can say nothing about standards no more. So yes, Russell Wilson can win. I would vote for Russell Wilson. The DNC's boy right there, Russell Wilson. Trust me. Cino's ahead of all this stuff. Y'all will see it one day. Y'all gonna see it one day. He doesn't seem to be in politics though. See, that's what I keep trying to tell you. Y'all just don't. I gotta prove it.
What's good? What's good? What's good?
Why do
Your
I
boy
got you forcing
Carcino
me to
here.
show you Patreon
Let's
material?
talk about it.
Where's that man at? Who do you
Russell
pay?
Wilson, America's
See
man.
the back of that dude head? You know who that dude is.
Everyone always compares themselves to the American man.
Prove it. This is a man who's devout in his Christian faith. He's on the White House lawn for Easter. He's mixing in the galas with all the top Democrats. He's rubbed shoulders. He's best friends with Barack Obama and these guys. Russell Wilson is going to run for president. Watch what I tell you, and you're going to be shocked when it happens. He's still playing now. This is early. So you got years to know. Russell Wilson will run for president. He's being groomed. He's meeting all the movers and the shakers. He's doing all the right things. He's doing all the charity events. He's doing all of the groundwork to build up trust where they know, those parties know Russell Wilson is somebody. He ain't coming from the political world. You ain't got to do it no more. But he's known in that party. He's helped generate money, raise money for campaigns for these people. Russell Wilson is more politically connected than you know. Mm-hmm. I know, man. It's so sad. Patreon is loaded, dog. We cocked and loaded. And we showed what happened when NBA ball players go too far. Office Depot, Victor Office Depot, that's what I call him, Office Depot. He fell in love with Bria Miles. And he wanted to have Bria Miles and fly out to Indiana. It just ain't nothing to do in Indiana. And he ended up losing her, as they all do. Right? He lost her to a white guy and embarrassed him, and his game fell off. There we go. Office Depot. This is what happened in your game. You was doing real good, and you was chasing the muff around, and it all went down. But you can find out what all went down on the Patreon. Tell you, we loaded. We locked and loaded. Mm-hmm. Oh, it ain't just black people. We got Clint Eastwood too. The love of his life just passed away at 61 years old. He's 94, she's 61, and she just died. You know, rest in peace, Christina. She's with him for a lot of years. She met him when he was like 80, and now he's like 94. She was a hostess at one of his restaurant cafes. And now at 94, she ends up passing away. Now, there was a bit of a dispute going on between the two, as you know, their agreement relationship was, you know, they never married because of, you know, the constructs of it. And you get to learn that there was some money friction going on as far as Clint's will, and she was more of a caretaker than, you know, an actual wife. He's 94 years old. So you'll get to see where that's going, right? But you'll find out the whole story on the Patreon. See, I'm telling you, everybody get it. I don't care if you're a Pacific Islander. You screw up, we got you. So Clint Eastwood, if Clint Eastwood could get it, anybody could get it. Oh, here we go. They coming with the sabotage. They don't want me sharing that with y'all no more. They just sabotaged and froze my whole page up there. Yeah, we doing too much damage. Anyway, don't forget to go to the Patreon, sign and subscribe to Casino for Life Patreon. Thank all y'all who came out, everybody who donate to my Cash App. which is Carcino. The reason why you're seeing this video right now is because people asked for it on the Cash App. They cashed out me and said, man, can you do a truth behind about this? And the Cash Apps were so tremendous because I did it on Patreon. And they was like, man, I want to see this on YouTube, a longer version. I was like, all right, I'll do it. So hopefully y'all enjoyed it. I got to get up out of here and fix my PC now. One.